Hey, they say the moon landing was fake. JFK, man, they wanted him erased. Aliens and bunkers, government lies, chemtrails painting secrets in the skies. It's a co-host, dual voice, or the code, digging through the chaos down every dark road. New world order, we taking names. Bigfoot's real and he knows the game. Conspiracy chaos, where the truth gets wild. From pyramids to lizard kings in exile. They hide it all, but we pull the thread. So buckle up tight, it's all in your head. Conspiracy chaos, where the truth gets wild. From pyramids to lizard kings in exile. They hide it all, but we pull the thread. So buckle up tight, it's all in your head.
This is Conspiracy Chaos. Truth, fiction, or both? Let's dive in.
Let's go back with another episode of Conspiracy Chaos. My name is RGB. Joining me as always, got my co-host Florida Mike and Area 51 Anthony. What's up, boys?
Hello.
What's up, man? We're gonna dive right into this one. We got talking a little bit in the pre-recording here. We got our guy Matt Lane joining us to talk some Fountain of Youth. Matt, what's up, buddy? Appreciate you jumping on.
Hey, thanks for having me, guys. I really appreciate this. I put all this kind of on the back burner for a little bit, so I'm ready to hop back on it and start getting on as many podcasts as I can to tell this story. It's a big one, and I'm telling you guys, when I came across this, my mouth dropped, and I knew what I had to do the moment I found this guy's Instagram page. So this has been a long time coming, and I have a feeling the speed on this is going to pick up. This is just the first of many shows that I'm going to be coming on to tell this story too. So I appreciate you guys being one of them.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
Can't wait.
Once I got talking to you a little bit on Instagram, and you were saying, give me a little bit of idea of the story. I was interested, and then talking to you for 5 minutes here, I'm even more intrigued. So why don't you let us know? Why don't you just take the floor, man, and tell us what you got and what the research you've been doing?
Yeah, absolutely. So just to set the stage here, I've been a podcast listener of conspiracies since about 2013. I found Coast to Coast AM, and then Greg Carlwood and Crow 777, and I just, those were pretty big shows that I would listen to on a daily basis. But then a lot of smaller shows started popping up, and it was people I could actually chat with, people who wanted to hear things, and I just slowly got into podcasting, and somehow somebody heard me on a show one time and reached out to me and put me in a group chat full of podcasters. That's how I met you. And
Yep.
A lot of these guys have been helping me move my story around the internet and get access to other podcasters. But before any of that, I was having a hell of a time for a few years and just going through the motions of work, kids, come home, sleep, repeat. And I just broke down one day. I begged God for a purpose multiple times. And, nothing came, obviously. It never comes right away. But then one day I was researching hydrogen water late at night, on Google, looking up hydrogen water, different ways you can get it, different machines to make it, even the little travel mugs. And got bored of looking at that. I hop on Instagram and I'm death scrolling because I can't sleep. And I come across Joseph Gilberti 2024's Instagram page. And he's talking about this primary water, this amazing natural source spring water that's coming deep from the ground. And instantly, obviously, I was just looking at water. I was intrigued. So I was like, let me check this guy out. And I start looking at a bunch of his posts, and I'm noticing this gentleman's very well spoken. He knows what he's talking about. Just so happens he's an engineer by trade. And it was videos of him going into like town hall meetings and going to government buildings, trying to talk to any officials, anybody he could get the attention to. He was trying to get this message to of this water, telling them he found this well of primary water. It's the cleanest drinking water on the planet. It's free of impurities. It's full of minerals. It's antioxidant. It's hydrogen, and it's alkaline. Basically, you can buy bottles of, made hydrogen water for $70 for a bottle of water like this that, cures illnesses. And Joe's trying to get this water pumped out to all of South Florida for free. Being an engineer by trade, he was telling these people, I already have the blueprints, I already have the plans, I already know how to do this. He's already worked on water lines up and down the coast along all the railroad tracks all over Florida. So the man knows what he's doing, but he wasn't getting any attention from these videos I'm watching. He's literally going into buildings trying to talk to somebody and being pushed out. So I'm like, this dude's onto something. And then I start looking, as I'm looking at the videos, I notice it's got 1 or 2 likes, maybe 1 comment, barely any views. I'm like, I know some podcasters. I think I know what I need to do. Instantly in that moment, I was like, thank you, God, you gave me my purpose. I didn't know how big of a story it was, but Joe had a phone number on his Instagram. So guys, I'm not a researcher. I'm not a investigative journalist. I'm not even a podcaster. I'm just a big fan of podcasting and conspiracies, and I question everything around me constantly. So I was like, well, I know some podcasters. Let me reach out to many as possible. But first, I gave Joe a phone call. The phone rings a few times. Somebody picks up, and my heart's racing. I'm like, what the fuck am I doing? Why am I doing this?
Right. Stepping out of the box, yeah.
And I was just going to tell him, like, hey, I'm really interested in this water, and just offer him my help, anything I could do. But unfortunately, Joe didn't answer the phone. It was his wife, Christine. And I could tell instantly this woman didn't want to be talking to me. She had the most somber voice. And unfortunately, within a few moments of speaking to her, she informed me Joe had just been arrested 2 days prior. I missed the man by this much. And you're probably all wondering, why'd he get arrested? Joe's been vigilant on getting this water to the people. Joe knows, he's had it tested. He knows what it is. He knows this is basically, I'm going to go ahead and say it live on the internet, the fountain of youth. It's the closest thing to that kind of water that we've possibly ever come across. There are other places on the planet that this water exists, where the springs come up. Hell, there's even health retreats in like Italy and France where they're promoting this healing water. I have a high suspicion it's the exact same water, almost probably from the same source. God, where to go next here?
Where do you think, let me ask you quick, do you have any idea, suspicion what the source is, where it's coming from?
Well, I have my ideas. Joe has his own ideas. Joe thinks this water is the waters. There's the waters above and the waters below, right? These are the waters below. This water is oceans, rivers flowing all underneath every single continent.
Wow.
And I'll just get to this real quick. Joe had the water tested and had it sent out. That's how we know there's no impurities. It's full of minerals, magnesium, calcium, all the good things your body needs. It's alkaline, it's antioxidant, and it has hydrogen in it, which right there, if you know anything about hydrogen water, that it's going to heal the body.
Yep.
He also paid a man to come out with a big rig with a $70,000 camera and put it all the way down the well. When they got to that well is 1,510 feet deep.
Holy shit.
Dang.
A normal well is 100 to 500 feet deep.
Yeah.
Sidebar real quick. The farmer who dug the well out, he used dowsing rods to do it, and just so happened to be a 33rd degree Mason. This well has been there since like the 50s or 60s. There she is. How are we doing, Christine?
I'm sorry. I'm on my phone today, so I can't see very good, but hi.
We can hear you good, though.
No worries. Appreciate you jumping on. This is a really interesting story that Matt's talking about, your husband here.
Yeah.
Just wow. So far, we're about 10 minutes in here, and it's just mind-blowing, really.
It's a pretty crazy story. And we haven't heard from him in 2 days. He's been on lockdown, so we're pretty stressed out. I don't know.
I'll finish. Let me tell you a little bit more about the water, and I want to let Christine tell you about all the crazy shit that has come about ever since Joe tried getting this water out.
All right.
The water's the great part of the story. That we know this water exists, okay? But there's a lot of conspiracy behind this water, even as far as naval black ops using this underground ocean and rivers to transport unseen. So of course they don't want you to know about this water. But I was just saying, Buck's father, the farmer who owns the land and the well now currently, he dug the well out back in the 50s or 60s, right? I know it's been there for a real long time because Christine and her husband found a geological survey of Florida, and in the spot right around where the well's at, it was labeled Big Mama. And everyone seems to think they're pointing out the well, right?
Okay.
Especially his father, Buck's father, being a Freemason. Who knows who he told about this water and who actually knows about it? You know, this could be something that's been held secret for a very long time. Unfortunately, Buck had no idea what was sitting on his property because his father never even bothered to tell him anything other than the water's pretty important.
Huh.
That's
So
amazing. That's crazy.
you know, those are just a couple of the small little weird things going on with this water. But the reason why Joe even found this water was because he was hired as an engineer to come out and mine this property of this farmer. This land investment company called 72 Partners contacted Joe after they had pretty much purchased a good parcel of the land from Buck.
No.
No,
Close.
wrong.
Yeah.
Go ahead. You can tell this.
It was a group that was getting the farmer into a predatory loan. And it was Eagle Feather was the name, and they assigned the note to 72 Partners.
Okay.
And they pretty much tried to take over after that and slam dunk and steal the farmer's property. But originally he was hired just to do a mining permit, and he wasn't paid. So he basically said, I'm going to lien the property. And then they said, no, you did such a good job. You got that permit so quick. We were debating on doing like a flying community. We want you to do all the engineering for that. And they got into a contract, and my husband designed a fly-in community, 10-acre parcels, and gave them all the materials, and they didn't pay him again. And that's kind of where the story goes. All right, Matthew, take over. Sorry.
Yeah. So, and me, the number 72 itself too. If we got any occultists listening, that 72 number raised bells in my head when I heard it. There's just so much conspiracy behind this. Government officials and the police. I told you guys in the green room, basically, even the news ran a report on Joe just to smear his name. But like I said, I reached out to Christine, and she told me about Joe going to jail, and it took me about a year. I was dealing with my own life issues. It took a whole year, but the moment I was able to, I reached out to every podcaster I possibly could to get Christine on shows, and we just hit the ground running for a while over the summer. It's and I guess I'll fast forward to this. Unfortunately, Joe was looking at doing a lot of time behind bars, not because he did anything wrong. Basically, like Christine just said, him doing the lien and the vigilantness that he had behind him on trying to get people to listen to him basically got him in trouble with a lot of people. And they stuck every charge on that man possible, from stalking to sending threatening emails, all sorts of stuff. And even that it gets deeper, even with the story of who the judge was that put him behind bars, Judge Padar. And I told you, this water isn't just drinking water. This is healing water. That judge's father happens to be a one of the biggest neurosurgeons, brain surgeon in Florida. So isn't that a coincidence?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I'm telling you,
all ties together every time.
Big pharma, it's big water. We already know Nestle wants to own water. That water they want water to be a commodity. So
Absolutely.
of course they don't
World
want
Health
Joe.
Organization as well.
Yeah, exactly. So
Yeah.
and
Holy shit.
Christine and I, well, Christine even thinks it has a lot to do with one of the big give me a second, fertilizing companies down in Florida too, kind of involved in this
Mosaic.
also. Mosaic, thank you. But you know, as obviously since Christine's on this is truly her story to tell. So I'm gonna take a seat back. I'm the guy blowing the horn that Christine
Yeah.
and Joe can't do. I'm the guy who found this story and realized its potential and what Joe was trying to do, and I'm just the guy blowing the horn saying, "Will you guys fucking listen to him, please?" So
Right. Right.
until something pops in my head, Christine, go ahead, just whatever you want to
Yeah.
tell.
Let it rip. Let's hear it.
Okay, so when we discovered it, my husband basically realized why they were attacking the farmer. And it was when he pulled a well permit to help the farmer pay this note off before they would foreclose on it. And he said, you know, you could generate so much money, just let's grow watermelon and whatever, sod and all sorts of stuff. And so they opened up this well permit, and he went to a Southwest Florida Water Management District meeting to initiate the permit. And they brought attorneys in the meeting. Everybody was nervous. And one gentleman in particular was sweating, like dripping sweat. And my husband's like, is this normal? I don't remember this many attorneys being in a permit, water permit. And they're like, oh no, this is like new protocol. And so that night is when alarm went off in his head, and he said, we have to call Buck. Something's going on. So he called Buck and asked how deep was the well. And Buck said, oh, it's about 1,509 around there. And my husband said, oh my gosh, I think they're after your water. So we have to get it tested. So we went out to the well, and it was at that time, it was flowing artesian. So it was just bubbling out of the ground. And we scooped it and sent it off to a lab. And the results came back, and we weren't really sure what the readings meant. We just knew that it didn't have toxins in it, and it didn't have anything but like calcium, magnesium, and a really good pH. So we sent the readings to a guy who does aquifer maintenance in West Palm Beach. His name is Jim Murray. And he basically came out to the site and told us that they were deleting my husband's email off the screen as quick as he could read it. So he knew something major was going on. And he came to the property. We did a full day of doing a down the hole camera video. And he basically told us that in the 30-something years he's been drilling, he's never, ever seen anything quite like this one. And with the readings, he said it's found something similar to the Fountain of Youth, if not the Fountain of Youth. So we were pretty blown away. And of course, my husband, being an engineer, bells go off in his head, like, how much is down there? And the guy said, you could service all of Florida easily. So,
Holy shit.
Yeah, so that's what my husband did. He said, oh my gosh, this is better drinking water for everybody. So he contacted the government agencies, and that's when, it started to go crazy. He got an ombudsman intercepted and said, you are not to contact the government agencies. I am your point of contact. And my husband's like, no, we need to get this out. And it's from there on, they tried to set him up with stuff and incarcerated him many times. They tortured him in jail. And now we're sitting here. He's been gone 2 years from us, and I haven't physically been able to see him. So we
Holy shit.
finally, there's 4 of us trying to get approved to see him, my 2 boys, me and my mother-in-law, and we just 3 of us out of the 4 got approved. And so we're waiting on my son because I don't want to take one son and not the other.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow, I'm so sorry to hear that.
Thank you.
Yeah, I actually had hopes I was going to come down to Florida here in the next year or so, meet Christine, taste that water. And I was hoping
Yeah.
to go shake Joe's hand, but apparently I got.
You're not even like allowing
Not-
visit, like what's
No.
Now, you know, they held him for over a year before his sentencing when they found him guilty of lien fraud. They basically held him before sentencing and we weren't able to visit him or anything. And then she sentenced him and they shipped him as far from us as possible. So he's 7 hours away. And now, you know, we had to go through this approval process and hopefully that's all going to be wrapped up by the end of the week and we'll get to finally visit him.
Now, do you think it was? Do you think it was when you guys sent the water out for the testing that it really sparked it, and like maybe the place you sent the testing to once they got their hands on it, or when your husband
That's
notified
very
the government?
possible.
Yeah, or when your husband notified the government himself to say, "Hey, I want to get this out," but then they're like, we're gonna." That's where they jump in and.
I mean,
flip
they
the
were
switch.
already deleting emails off the screen when we were just initiating the oil well guy, the aquifer maintenance testing guy to come. So they were already in on it. Someone
They
knew.
blew off the jump. Joe didn't
Huh?
alert anybody. They already knew what they had when they came after Buck's property. That I'm pretty sure. That's what I think.
Oh,
Yeah.
no doubt. The 3 attorneys from Greenberg Traurig, they were the ones that we initiated to hire to help Buck for his foreclosure. And a mafiosa person, which was Scott Fryer, he's the one who told us to hire them. I think they all knew about it beforehand. And they told us who to hire for the foreclosure because they were basically sabotaging the farmers' foreclosure. And my husband's like, oh, we're firing them. So my husband fired them and they're like, you can't fire us. You're not our client. And Buck turned around and said, you're fired. And that's when the charges got on my husband. So those 3 attorneys put cyber stalking
Set 'em
charges on my husband.
Wow.
And then they did restraining orders, you know, to solidify it. And then after my husband was tortured and interrogated in jail, and that was a whole mess. I uncovered that's a whole nother story. But they didn't show up for trial and they had to drop the charges. So they knew what they were doing, but they weren't successful because they couldn't get the state prosecutor. Her name is Sheila Sangby. She tried so hard to get someone that was willing to lie on an affidavit and swear my husband did something wrong, and no one would do it. So she had stacks of folders telling the judge she has all these charges to put on him, but not one person would sign a sworn affidavit. So,
And little sidebar for you guys, real quick too, because I told you we went hard in the paint this summer trying to get on shows, to the point where a representative Patrick Bet David reached out.
Oh shit.
Yeah, and they just wanted to see updated water results. Unfortunately, something on the test came back they didn't like. But my biggest suspicion was what Christine told me was they saw Joe's records, arrest records and everything, and didn't want to bring him on the show because, you know, liability or you know,
discrediting him.
Exactly.
Yep.
And let me tell you this: about 2 weeks after we found out like they're not going to fuck with us anymore, they had Bibi Netanyahu on. Go figure, right?
Huh.
But I mean that gave me a lot of hope though, that this story is actually reaching ears, and we're either gonna rock the right boat or the wrong boat. I really don't give a shit which one it is.
Well, it seems
Either
like you've
somebody's
already
gonna come
rocked
down
the
on our
wrong
heads
boat.
and prove,
Yeah.
either somebody's gonna come down on our heads and something might happen for trying to get this information out, or the right person's gonna hear it and give us a hand. And yeah, Joe lost his case. He's been sentenced to 15 years.
15?
15
I was
fucking
gonna
years
ask.
for lean
They give
fraud,
him the
bro.
max. They give him a max.
Wow, I was looking it up. I was just looking up how, and it says felony lien fraud is 2 to 10. It said
Depending on the state.
misdemeanor is 1. I was like, I didn't even see 15.
Yeah, well, this is Sarasota County, Florida, where they pretty much rule and run.
make our own
all
shit
of
up.
The law, yeah, they make their own shit up, so they do what they want to down there.
Wow.
And they
Why do you-
they
why do you
raised
think nobody
his
goes anywhere?
charges the day of jury selection. So initially he wasn't really looking at more than 3 to 5 years if that was the case. Our attorney said, "Oh, it's just a fine, if anything." And then when it went to jury selection, she raised his charges and he asked for a continuance and she denied him. And he's like, "Wait a minute, I'm pro se and you just raised my charges where I'm looking at over 10 years. I don't think that's,
Fucking
appropriate with the timing right before."
Rapists and fucking child
Yes.
abusers get more or less time than that.
Uh,
Like,
Murderers
what
got
the
more
fuck?
time.
Some murderers, right? What the fuck?
Yeah,
I
it's subduing. That's all they're doing. They're
That's
taking him out of the picture.
Wow.
So, yeah.
holy shit.
and not only are they trying to take him out of the picture, and I hate that I have to say this out loud, but they're trying to break that man, and they've been
Yeah.
trying to break
Yep.
him for 13
Yes, they
years
are.
now. This isn't the first time he's been in jail.
Right.
Christine
Yeah.
can give you an hour's worth of horror stories of what that man.
Yeah, so Sheila Sangvi, the one that was trying to put all the charges, she was working, I believe, with Mosaic. So Mosaic is the one that offered all the money to my husband and the farmers, like 500 million, walk away. And they didn't do it. They said, "This isn't our water. This is the people's water." And so Sheila ended up, losing her case. They had to drop the charges. And then the public defender that we had on that case got pulled just before trial, like 3 days before trial. His name was Christopher Shaw. And when he was pulled, the judge said, "Oh, I'm sure you want to postpone your trial now." And my husband's like, "No, I want to go. I didn't do anything wrong." And they assigned us some, other counsel. And the judge said, "When do you want me to push the trial to?" And my husband says, "No, we're going to trial. I don't need an attorney. I didn't do anything." And we just moved forward, went to trial, and nobody showed up. So Sheila Sangvi's husband ended up being the next state prosecutor against my husband when Christopher Shaw, our public defender, put charges on my husband. And
Okay.
he fabricated an email, and I even found a forensic specialist to prove it's fake, and they wouldn't let him appear in court. They said he wasn't qualified in their court. And anyway, my husband ended up taking a plea on that. And the state prosecutor, which was her husband, initially they were supposed to go to trial. And right before my husband was going to be, released, trial would have ended it. I wish he would have went to trial and not taken a plea, but they were going to trial, and the state prosecutor said, "Oh, we're getting ready to have a baby, so I need 3 more months, and then we'll reconvene with this trial." And my husband's like, "Wait a minute, I'm stuck in here with no bond. I can't wait 3 more months. They're trying to steal my property. I have cases in Sarasota." And the judge is like, "Too bad." So my husband stood up and said, "Well, what if I take a plea?" And they all stood up like shocked he would do that. And they said, oh, well, then you can go home. So he was able to go home and protect his property, but he took a plea of, guilty to a fake email that our state prosecutor, which was her husband, sent an email to our public defender 3 days before that said they couldn't find any email from my husband to him. So we have the proof that he never sent it. I had an expert willing to go in. My husband wanted her to subpoena the Google account to show that it never came from him. And she kept telling us it's not our burden to prove your innocence. It's their burden to prove you guilty. And my husband's like, well, they're not sitting in jail without their family and without, access to their cases that are important. So numerous times he's been, arrested and tortured and never given a bond. He's always treated like he's some terrorist.
Yeah.
Did you notice
Did
you notice surveillance and like people following you guys and stuff like that when this all kind of began?
I did not. I wasn't even until the U.S. Marshals came to our home and held me up against the garage. I had no clue.
They don't need surveillance people. I mean, they don't need to.
Not anymore, I guess. Yeah.
They got so much tech. They can use your Wi-Fi box at this point.
Right.
I'm gonna tell you right now. When I started getting into this stuff, I've been contacted by some weird profiles on social media and everything. I know they're watching my ass too. I don't have to see them doing it. I feel it, man. And I don't think my life's in danger or anything like that.
I flick off cameras all the time. Flick them off.
There you go.
I do that to the helicopters.
Yeah,
I see those a lot. I'm like, oh, okay.
I do it to the chemtrail planes, even though they obviously can't see me. It's just,
Yeah, they're way up there.
But yeah, they don't.
Mosaic is. Sorry. So you were talking about Mosaic. It was coming after you guys. You said a little bit that they were part of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's kind of crazy too, because that's a big company for the so-called elites. I mean, Mosaic is stockholders are Vanguard, State Street, BlackRock, FMR,
Yep.
LLC, which is Fidelity. Their net worth is pretty big up there. So, I mean, they definitely have the money to try to bury something on if there's something out there they don't want you having. Because, I mean, we were talking a little bit before on air is, the World Economic Forum or the World Health Organization and them want to buy the rights to water. And if there is water that heals and the fountain of the youth is found, they're definitely coming after it. So,
little sidebar real quick for you. Christina, I always forget this exact detail, but if you're in the conspiracy world, a lot of us by now know about synchronicities, and it's not just by chance stuff anymore. Nothing happens by coincidence. Was it the day Joe put the camera down the well? Was like the 500th year anniversary of Ponce de Leon's discovery?
Yes. And Buck figured that out when he was watching Jeopardy. He's like, oh my God. He said that was exactly 500 years to the day that Jim Murray came to our property. So it's pretty crazy. There's a lot of biblical stuff when you think about it. And I feel like everything we've been through, which is horrible, but the fact that my husband is still here, God's got him. There's no doubt in my mind because he's trying to do a beautiful thing and they just, the devil's on him, but God's got his back. It's how I feel.
And I'm going to back Christine up on that. I know a lot being kind of behind the scenes with a lot of podcasters. I'm seeing the switch over. Men are turning from just our, normal ways that we've been living for a couple decades now, smoking weed, drinking beers, watching football, just kind of going with where society wants us to go. A lot of men are waking up and realizing that they lost their religion and it's time to get back to it. I lost my religion. You know, I told you guys earlier, I asked God for a purpose, and he gave that to me with Christine. And like her saying, this is not only the fountain of youth, but this is God's water. That was my first thought when I came across Joe's page.
Totally.
After looking
Yes.
at it for a good hour or so, I
Okay.
said, this guy found God's water. And I already kind of knew about, or, you know, flat earth and the water's above, water's below. And I'd seen videos of that real heavy water that submarine couldn't go past, you know, if you see
Yep.
videos. So, you know,
That's what I thought of when you said it, when we were
Mhm.
talking in
No,
the beginning.
this
That's
water's
exactly
slightly
what I thought
different,
of.
and I think there's different because, like I said, this water exists all over the place, and obviously, being in different parts of the planet, water's going to be slightly different. But I think it's all pretty
No.
much not just the same source, but like it's all like the same. And I'll tell you real quick, sidebar. The podcasting group, I love you guys. They have brought me so much random little tidbits too to connect dots. Like I got my man Zimbowski out in Indiana, who found some wells that were closed off, tapped up, and no longer used. Where like literally, it's like in the middle of a park, but it looks like ruins of an old building. He did his research that actually used to be a health retreat where people can come and fill up water from this amazing spring, but local municipalities completely covered it up.
Yeah,
They
of course.
they corked the well basically, and this is the case. There's stories like this in every freaking state.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you go to Switzerland and you walk around the mountains and they have troughs with runoff from the glaciers and ice up, you know, on the mountains. They embrace it and give it out for free and, you know, let everybody experience all of it and the beauty. My dog is like going crazy. He doesn't want me talking. It's like,
Oh, puppy.
Yeah.
he's a big boy. King
Yeah,
Corso.
this isn't
King
just
Corso is amazing.
if this water doesn't get out, this story isn't the end of it all. I don't know what's going to come out of this. I'll tell you my mission when I first met Christine and heard her story, and like everything she just told you. We talked for a good hour and a half the first time I called her, and it was just everything we're telling you now, just bad news. And
Yeah, but I was bawling.
she was bawling her eyes out.
It was
And
raw.
I can imagine.
I made a promise to her in that moment that I was hoping to get her husband out of jail. I never wanted him to even get sentenced. I was hoping I could get enough attention to keep him out of jail. Unfortunately, I let people and things in my life kind of stop me from doing that. And here's the part, and I'll get back to this, why I think this is God's water and God has a mission and a plan for all of us. I went through some relationship issues. My ex left me, took our daughter to Florida for a few months. And the only thing that got me moving and living again was remembering Christine and the promise I made. I called her the moment I had that thought, basically, and told her my plan and what I was going to do. And it happened. Like I
I've
said,
had several people, Matthew, ask me, where's Matthew? What's going on with him? And so
I have been quiet. And I'll tell you, it's kind of two things. It's life. My daughter, who was taken to Florida, came back home, and now she lives with me right now.
Oh yeah.
Blessed to God.
Oh
But my answers were I prayed for were answered again. Sorry. And you know, I've had a lot. Unfortunately, I've had to put a lot of focus into my daughter. She has some health issues, and I can't do the work that I want to on a daily basis with my 9 to 5. But things are. And also I'm a big astrology guy, and I'll tell you, just the past few months, the stars have really been in a position of just sit back and chill. It's time to reflect. It's time to look within. Speed's going to be picking up here real soon in the year of the horse. I know that's Chinese astrology, but it's all the same, man. Things are going to pick up. I think this story is going to get even bigger than I could imagine. I mean, like I said, I almost got Christine a guest spot on Patrick Bet David. Crow 777 even reached out. I tried getting. I personally went to a Sam Tripoli show to shake his hand and tell him Joe Gilberti's name. unfortunately, he gave me his email and I never heard back from him. But I did get on Mark Steve's show. Not to talk about the water, though. He was interested in my Kent State story. I can't get these big shows other than NDS and Cult of Conspiracy. Those are the biggest shows we've made it to, who really wanted to hear this story. And unfortunately, even my boys at NDS kind of took a step back after Joe got sentenced. I'm not too sure if it was just the water results that kind of scared him away, or Joe's record that they came across. But regardless, I'm not giving up.
No, man, you got to get that message out. We can.
He has numerous stalking charges.
Joe's not a stalker. Any of you people right now, and I really have held back from looking at comments of the other podcast shows we've done. Regretfully so, because I went back and looked at some the other day and saw some really great positive messages. But I've also heard some awful things where people are just trashing Joe, and I can't stand it. And I know that's what you're going to get. But to anybody, if you're not an agent of chaos, please go watch Joe's videos and watch that man speak. He's elegantly spoken, he's kind-hearted, and he's fearless.
I'm going to definitely dive in tonight.
Yeah.
I'm scrolling through actually the page kind of.
Let me ask you a question. So you've actually drinking the water, correct?
I have not. I'm in Ohio.
Christine.
Christine.
Oh yeah, we've been drinking it since 2013. So I have two sons that drink it every day.
And when you first did it, I know it's a while back, but when you first did it, could you notice a difference in your body with the detoxing and everything with the clean water?
Yeah, you notice like I didn't want to eat right away. Like I almost just wanted to keep drinking, and it's almost like flushing out your system. But now I mean, it's like I don't like the taste of any other water. I'm used to it, and I don't know if I would have even made it through all this if I didn't have it. So that's what keeps me going. I'm lucky in that respect. And my kids, they're straight A students. Maybe not this semester because they're both in engineering right now. So, but
following in Dad's footsteps.
Yeah, exactly. They are. You have no idea how hard they're fighting to get their dad home. They are all over. As soon as they get home, they're on the computer checking all my husband's cases, following up. We just got a notice the other day that my husband is incarcerated and therefore can't be answering these, requests on the computer, these court dates and stuff. Someone else must be doing it. And they're like, it's almost like a threat to my son to stop filing stuff for my husband. So they do
everything they can to set them up and keep them in there.
Exactly.
Gotta get them out. Gotta figure out something.
I got a call from someone in jail that told me my husband was the reason he made it through, and that my husband's got a heart of gold. And a couple people have reached out that have already done their time since my husband's been in there. And they have nothing but positive things, that they push drugs so hard in jail. And my husband tried to get everybody, don't do it. Don't go with the nurse. She's going to get you hooked, on antidepressants and stuff. Don't do it, And they have thanked me and said that my husband's the reason they're not addicted to, all the stuff they were pushing in the jail.
I would love to be a fly on the wall in that jail, to hear Joe waking people up in jail. Like, I'm sure he doesn't even make an enemy in that, wherever he's at. Everybody probably loves him, but just hearing him rile up the other inmates.
Oh yeah.
I'm telling you, just me watching his videos, it riled me up. I'm like, fuck yeah, let's do this. Let's get this water into the people, bro. Let's go. But like, I'm also a very well observed conspiracy theorist for quite a few years now. So I was already with it, but that's awesome. And I'll tell you this, another podcaster reached out and actually heard one of our podcasts Christina and I did with somebody else, to the point where he was so moved by it that he did his own podcast where he played our podcast and then commented in between every little point he wanted to. It ended up being like a 5-hour podcast.
That's awesome. Yeah.
That is
And
awesome.
he reached out to me, he reached out to Christine, and even came down to Florida to taste that water. And he called me a couple days after he made that trip, and he's like, Matt, just thanking me for getting this message out. He's like, I got to taste God's water, and I'm going to tell you right now, it was the lightest, just tasteless. It was like he said he was drinking heavy air. Like, it didn't even feel like anything was in his mouth. It was like indescribable, like no water on the planet.
Oh man, I'm so interested. Mike, you gonna try? You gonna take the trip? You gonna go try it?
Hey, Sarasota's only 2.5 hours from me.
Oh, that's not bad. It's about
No,
an hour and a half from me. I'm on Fort Myers Beach. So,
So you just go load up some like.
down there.
well, you would have to go and meet me there, but you need 4-wheel drive because it's, it's deep in the woods, and we kind of go through some pitting from where all the hogs and stuff have ripped up,
I will
part of.
definitely be there. I would definitely go down there and help you
And
out.
just
Okay.
to put a little more conspiracy validation behind this, you're probably like, this well, normally if you drill a well, you're either doing it right where you're farming or next to your house where it's easily accessible. No, it's 15 minutes away from the property.
Huh.
And then, like I said,
Yeah.
you found it
Why is
using
it out
dowsing rods. This water was not meant to be found, man.
Mm-hmm.
Not at all. Even to Christine told me that, I guess when they were drilling, the story is they hit like basically bedrock or something real hard. They wanted to give up, and that farm, Buck's father, said, "Fuck you, keep going. We're getting to this water today." So it's just all around amazing story, and we haven't even touched on some of the bigger
Yeah.
conspiracies that this has been. I won't say fully involved with, but coincidences, big time coincidences involving some of your favorite conspiracies.
Let's hear him.
Well, one thing I didn't mention was Byron Donalds is running for governor here of Florida. Okay, Governor Scott, who is Senator Rick Scott, he was the first person to attack our family. And then I went to Pam Bondi when my husband was being tortured in jail and wrote her a letter just pouring my heart out to help me. I think they're torturing my husband, and I think, basically Governor Scott is behind it. And she responded, "You need to speak with Governor Scott."
Jesus.
It's like, oh, thanks for reaching out, but you need to talk to him. And then on Mr. Daughtry's bankruptcy, because we filed bankruptcy, the person that was assigned to his bankruptcy, the trustee, is actually on the water school trustee board at my kid's school right here at FGCU. So, and what's interesting else is Byron Donald's wife was also part of that board on the water board. So I think it's a very known resource, and people are paid to hide it. And I reached out to Byron Donalds. My husband has gone to a church that he was presenting and confronted him and showed him how this would benefit Florida. And I wrote his wife recently, and all of a sudden I see he's with Trump and he's endorsed for, governor of Florida. And it just breaks my heart, because I just want to see an honest person get in. And I think that if you're watching Matt the Welder and Bobby Joe Williams, is it? The guy running for governor.
Mm-hmm.
Are you watching? Anybody paying attention? Well, I guess
No.
Matt, you're at Ohio, so
I'm
Yeah,
not.
we're
We're up
in
in
New
New York.
York. Yeah.
Mike's the only one that would.
I get certain news tablets and tabloids and stuff about it. You don't want to know my thoughts on the government and the people that work for it. So, but I don't. It's all bad. But I haven't read it,
Yeah.
so, like all of it.
There are people out here doing big things. Matt the Welder is a pretty big page, and got a pretty big social media following right now, and he's trying to make a lot of change down there. I haven't been too in depth with his work, being that I am in Ohio. My brain gets lost in the dealing with what I'm dealing with here. But
he
he's
got
been trying to
attacked.
help Christine.
He got attacked too by the same crew of people.
And I was going to say, after she was done describing all the people that are literally surrounding her family currently, who is also involved with water, it's a pit of vipers, guys.
Right.
This is kind of a message for everybody. If you think you're safe, you think fucking again. Not only did I find this story and hear all the things Christine's told me, that's opened up my eyes to the amount of corruption that surrounds you on a daily basis. But even here up in Northeast Ohio, this story has even brought even more information to me about my local history of Kent, Ohio. Literally every city, damn near every city on the map that's been established was established by somebody involved in either the Freemasons, Mormonism, Society of the Cincinnati. They're all connected. And I would love to come back on and give you guys my Kent State stuff, Kent, Ohio.
Absolutely.
Research. It's going deeper and deeper
that.
and deeper. It does have a lot of information on mound energy and Native Americans and the whole Kent State massacre, which led me to the info of, wow, I think almost every city across the country started off as like a farming community and then was taken over by some kind of oligarch, put there in place by even bigger oligarchs such as like Carnegie and Rockefeller, people like that. It's everywhere, people. Your history is fully endowed with people who had no good intentions for society. You're surrounded by
you can
vipers.
see it. You can see it every day.
If you think you're safe, if you think you're going to do something good in this world, go ahead and try. Just protect the shit out of yourself any means possible. My advice is you're not going to stop them from taking you out if that's how far it goes, but you can stop them from spiritually attacking you if you stay strong. So that's one big message I want to have today that I've never really spoke on before. But like I said, like this story took a pause for a while, and I think it was on purpose. I think I needed to sit back and really reflect and gain more knowledge to come back at this even harder, because like I never even wanted Joe to get incarcerated. I was hoping to stop that from that happening. I was hoping to get so many years.
No, there was so many people
they couldn't even put him in jail or prison,
trying to keep him out of jail. And
yeah, unfortunately, one family against an entire deep state.
It's the entire court system. It's
they bought an easement for $5 million right by our well, and that money I think is what paid off all the judges to just bury my husband. So they threw out all his cases. They didn't follow court procedures, and basically railroaded him, and everybody got paid off. So, and that's on our property is where they bought the easement. So it's all going to come out. I have faith. I have a fellowship call in like 10 minutes. So
Good.
I started a group with, Bible stuff, trying to keep my faith and strong, and I need it. So
Stay strong.
Yeah,
stay strong for him. He's fighting.
Real quick though, when your husband was arrested and stuff, did any of it was a lot of news? Was any of in the news or media at all, or they kind of keep it off the radar?
They kept it off the radar.
That's what I'm noticing in my research. There's no news articles about it.
The only news article that was covered was him going to his child's school to pass out business cards, basically explaining the water that he was trying to get out. The news came. Well, because he basically almost got arrested for that. The news came and interviewed people on the street and was like, and did you hear about this crazy guy trying to talk about whatever? I don't even think they talked about.
Yeah, they called him a water loon. He's a water loon.
That's what it was. basically saying he was
Wow.
a crazy person for it. So
And then they tried to set up a school shooting on Roman, my son. So there's the Marjorie Stoneman Douglas shooting. We were doing the state of revolving fund application, and it went to the Marjorie Stoneman Douglas building in Tallahassee, Florida. That's a coincidence. The Boston bomb, he sent a jog email 6 hours before the Boston bomb with Governor Scott and Florida Department of Environmental Protection banner. And that happened. That's when they came, and the U.S. Marshals and stuff, which wasn't on the news. And we called the news. My husband called when they were handcuffing him and said, call the news, get the neighbor. I'm like, the neighbors are here. They videoed my neighbors. So they couldn't believe 8 black SUVs in my driveway and them holding me up and threatening to kill my dog, and just crazy.
Shit.
Wow.
And
Shit.
yeah.
We definitely,
And
we
the
definitely gotta get
people-
you on like a big. We gotta get you on a big podcast. We gotta get you on something big, something that's independent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Matt,
your
Matt,
name
let
out
me,
there.
Matt, check your messages and stay on after we're done recording. I want to talk to you about something I might be able to help out with a little bit.
Awesome. Thank you guys.
Hey,
No,
I
thank you
Christine,
appreciate it.
so
I'm
much.
thank
gonna-
you. This is awesome.
Okay.
Yeah,
we
and
really
keep
appreciate
fighting.
your
Really,
time.
keep
Yeah.
fighting and stay strong.
Oh, we're gonna keep fighting. We're not giving up.
Whew.
Yeah,
So,
we'll do
thank
everything
you
we
so
can to
much.
help.
All right.
Absolutely. Any
Take
new
care.
information,
Yes,
always
yeah.
feel free to jump on. We can get the message out.
Matt, you can give
know
them my email. Anybody can ask me questions anytime. I answer all my messages.
Awesome.
Okay,
So-
and you still post on his page.
Yeah.
Here, if people want to go and see his story.
Mhm.
Yeah. So
Um,
my son has been trying to keep up with his website, and
okay.
that's gilbertybluegold.com.
Gil, spell that.
It's
G-
right on the. It's right on the link up on the
It is
Instagram
on
page.
Instagram. Oh,
the
perfect.
top,
I didn't even- Okay,
And
good.
why they're doing that, what's crazy is like, and you're speaking of coincidences and stuff, and it's like a couple hours, even all the way up until the podcast was starting. My girl and I were talking about doing research and finding the best water to drink out there because we're tired of all the microplastics and all the crap in it, right? And the next thing we jump on here, and this is what we're talking about. Like, it's crazy.
Oh,
There
that's
you go.
crazy.
So
love
it
it.
happens.
I love it. Synchronicities, brother.
Yeah,
That's
I'm a
awesome.
huge like food, water nut. Like
There you
when
go.
it comes to the conspiracy, I've been in the food business my whole life, so I've seen the drastic changes and all that stuff. So I'm always looking for the best water, the best stuff to put in my body, detoxing, whatnot, and it's just so hard nowadays. I mean, you got to get the super expensive bottle of water in the glass, or you're just putting all kinds of chemicals in your body.
Yeah,
I mean, it's insane,
microplastics.
the amount of
all
stuff.
of it.
Yes.
Microplastics, aluminum, addictive chemicals, things that interact with the particles that they're spraying in the sky. I mean, it's all together, especially with 6G coming out here soon. They're trying to flood us with as much aluminum.
There's
metals as they
definitely
possibly
something
can.
in these.
There's
these
the fake
Bywaters I
$20
drink is-
bill. You see that?
Oh,
So
yeah.
that has
Yeah.
the COVID 2020 mask on it.
Oh yeah, when you flip it upside down, it looks like yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And my husband brought that to the church where Byron Donalds was and showed him that and was explaining the water. And Byron was like, "You're telling me that that's a mask on the 20?" And other people in the church was like, "Oh my gosh, that is a mask." And then
Yep.
right after that presentation, all of a sudden they announce, COVID's over. It's like, oh, it's over. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm sure
I'm gonna
it's
go.
over.
I'm gonna go diving into all of this after the podcast is
Nice.
over.
Okay, I'm gonna go.
Thank
Thank
you.
you guys
Thank
so
you,
much.
Christine. We appreciate
Bye.
you so
Thank
All
you
much.
right,
so much
bye,
for your
Matthew.
time.
Thanks.
Awesome, dude. That was
Yeah.
so cool that you jumped on, man. Awesome.
Yeah, I'm so
Appreciate you doing that, Matt.
I've been so busy. I meant to call her days ago and let her know. I literally called her hours before the show. I said, "Hey, if you want to hop on here, I think it'd be a great idea." And she's like, okay." She's always
I
I
ready.
think she stayed longer than I think we all expected too. I think
Yeah,
she got-
yeah. She's
got
like, "I'll
the
hop on
story
for a few minutes," but this
was
Dude,
awesome.
we could be talking about this. Like, if we wanted to give your audience every single detail, this would be a 3 to 4 hour show. I'm not kidding. We're leaving
Right.
out a lot just to get
Well,
as much out as
we'll have to do
possible, but
parts. We'll have to do parts. That way,
yeah,
expand it
this is
over,
kind of
keep
like
people interested.
throw the whole bulk of the story at you guys all at once. But
Mhm.
like she just said, we got Boston bombing connected to Joe. We got the Stone Douglas building.
Stoneman Douglas, yeah.
And that one's real weird because then that one got into a little bit of numerology because it was 17 kids who got shot, and Joe was supposed to go to that school like 17 days before. I'm sorry, I'm forgetting the exact details. 17 days before or after, I think it was 17 days after the shooting had happened, was Joe's date to come to that building and have a meeting. But guess what? That building was shut down after that.
Right.
So, and I called Christine earlier during our conversations. I was like, do you have any updates you want me to give them in case you don't get on? Unfortunately, she didn't get to drop that before she got off here, but she's been being vigilant down there and reaching out to whoever she can. And one of these, what'd she say, a whistleblower group she reached out to, and it's been corresponding with, just so happens to be ran by the uncle of George Floyd.
Hmm.
Yeah. That George Floyd. And I just a few days ago, he reached out and said, do you want me to contact any celebrities to get to listen to this story? Because his work with the whole movement promoting his nephew, he's probably got to talk to a lot of big black celebrities because of this. So
Sure.
he's like, absolutely, I'll take anybody at this point, but fingers
BBC's.
Just a few Joe. So she got a hold of Joe and said, hey, write an email to this guy so he can send it out to some celebrities. Joe wrote the email. 2 days later, all this ICE shit started happening, and all this talk about all the riots and bringing up George Floyd's name over and over and over again got this guy kind of his attention elsewhere now. So she's kind of sitting back and waiting to see if this guy's actually legit or not. But from what she told me, she's been talking to him for weeks now. He corresponds with her quite often. But I was just, you got to be kidding me. Out of anybody in the world, George Floyd's uncle.
Right. That's wild.
I'm like, that just makes me go, off the rip, knowing what I know about that story. But, I'm just going to let it be what it is and see if anything will come from it. Fingers crossed.
Hey, we'll see.
Yeah, man. Good luck, man. And like I said, come back on anytime and let's push the story and do what we can to get him out, man, because he doesn't
That's fucking
deserve to be
15
there.
years
That's
for this,
great,
for
man.
that,
15
for
years.
finding the found youth is crazy.
Yeah, dude.
And I looked while you guys were all talking, and the Florida felony penalty, max penalty for lien fraud is 5 years.
That's what I mean. Where do they get
Yeah,
15
but they added
years?
cyber
Dude, I don't
stalking.
know.
They added
Yeah,
all
Yeah,
these
they
other
added all
charges.
kinds of stuff. Yeah, they added petty
his lawyer was
charges
no help.
to
His
stack
lawyer's
it up.
working. His lawyer's working for them too. His lawyer's paid off, and that's some of the more of the little details. Is literally one of the lawyers they first got to help pretty much backed out of helping them because he said without saying that he was threatened. He was warned. You can't help these people.
That's why he started representing himself.
Basically, yeah. He had a lawyer representing him. Christine even gave me the the Zoom link to go watch a couple of his hearings.
Yeah.
The lawyer was an incompetent fool kissing the judge's ass the whole time. Because you show up a little bit early and wait for him to start the hearing, and the lawyer and the judge were just bantering back and forth. This lawyer was kissing the judge's ass. I wanted to chime in so bad, but I'm like, I don't want to get in trouble here. Oh my God! But his lawyer basically helped that judge put him away. His lawyer did him no justice whatsoever. Christine's tried finding lawyers outside of the state to come in and help. As soon as she says it's Sarasota County, yeah,
So
sorry, good
nothing to
luck.
do with it. Yeah.
No, because you got to be in the group to even get in there.
Yeah.
It's so closed off.
Yo, isn't Sarasota a big area for Scientology down there as well? Like one of their headquarters?
The area.
I don't know. That's
Yeah,
probably
it's close to Scientology. It's close to it.
Yeah, because a lot of people like. How far is that from like Dade, Broward County?
Clearwater.
Not far, right? Sarasota, or is it up
Clearwater,
north?
like so Clearwater, where a lot of the Scientology is, I think from Sarasota is like an hour, maybe.
Skipping a
Gotcha.
hop.
Yeah. So the other thing I seen on here too that I was looking up is Joe
Yeah, an
has a
hour.
lot of. He sued like I seen
Mhm.
Gilberti versus Biden, or Gilberti versus the CDC, and a couple others. Like, so he's going after everybody.
And obviously those are going to absolutely go nowhere. Nobody's going to
Right.
take that stuff seriously. He's leaving a paper trail.
Right.
That's all. I haven't asked him that personally, but I think I got the gist of what he was trying to do. Like I said, I've been pushing this man's information for a while. I have yet to even talk to him.
I was just gonna
He's
say.
behind bars, man. I can't get to him. The closest I got to was a Nephilim Death Squad episode where Christine and I were doing a show with NDS, and Joe called Christine while we were doing the show, and we tried getting him on, but like
Yeah.
Mercury was
phone to it.
retrograde at that time also. I will say this, being the astrology guy. Mercury was retrograde, so like the communication, you could barely hear what he was saying. And Joe is a fast talker because he's got a lot of information to get out there. So you could barely tell what he was saying, but it was so cool to I just wanted to be like, Joe, I'm here, buddy. I love you. You know? But
I'm trying, man. I'm trying.
It's this close. But Christine tells him all the time the efforts I've been putting in for him and everything. So I know he's over there appreciating everything we're doing. Even though he's never met you guys, he appreciates the shit out of this, fellas. So tell
man,
everybody, tell your family, tell your friends, tell strangers. This water exists, and we're being poisoned when we could be drinking water that helps us live to 150 without any health issues.
Oh my God.
In my opinion,
I'm gonna contact her. I'm gonna go down there and explore with her. I'm gonna go down there. It's not that far.
Yeah, dude. If you're only 2.5 hours away, like I said, another podcaster linked up with her, and he got to taste that water, and he was
Mike, ship me a couple gallons, will you, buddy? Ship me a
Yeah,
couple.
seriously.
Yeah. I'll be out there
Yo,
pumping it.
is this
I do
video?
tournaments out in Sarasota, so
Is this video on his page, the first one pinned? Is that Joe talking to the council?
It probably is, yeah.
Anthony,
One of the city councils.
pull that up. Hey, Jamie, pull that up.
And Scientology, the main flag, or that's what they call it, is in Clearwater. They do have a Church of Scientology in Sarasota, but the main headquarters
It's Clearwater.
is in Clearwater.
No kidding.
Right by the bridge. Right by the bridge. I mean, it's like an entire city. It's creepy as hell. It's creepy because nobody's there. It looks like it's like a huge city abandoned.
They say at nighttime it's just fucking goes dead at like 8 o'clock.
All right, just tell me when.
I drove through there.
It's the top one with the TV one.
All right, top left.
Yeah, that one. Yes, sir.
Here is Joe Gilberti.
City of Naples this week, November 15th.
Good morning, Council. I have two cards there.
Yes, you do.
Two different subjects. I'd like to speak on the primary water one first.
Okay.
Okay. I also want to hand this before the thing starts. A letter to Byron Donalds, U.S. Congressman Byron Donalds. It's public record to each one of you. So
Okay, if you'll just give it to the clerk. And thank you, sir.
February 21st letter with the mask on the 20. COVID mask on the 20.
No, not now. Thank you, sir.
Okay,
FBI
thank
case,
you.
too.
My name is Joseph Gilberti. I'm a professional engineer at the University of Florida. Graduated in '93. I live in 385 Denora, Fort Myers Beach.
Gators.
I'm from South Florida, but I've been here about 18 years. I was brought here by Congressman Trudy Williams. I did a bunch of projects in Collier, the Collier Annex building, the parking garage, your airport expansion. I'm a civil land development engineer by trade, but I have my own company for about 20 years. I do development. I have a ranch in Sarasota with some farmers that has a secret underground river from the meteor impact that created the Gulf. It's yielding what we call primary water. You don't need drinking water for rain. You don't need rain for drinking water. Primary water comes from the core. The steam from the lava infiltrates into the rocks and liberates. We can only drill 6 miles deep for oil. The military complex and the oil guys all hid this stuff. I'm proposing in that letter 75-mile pipe down Seminole Gulf Railway with an airport fuel line as well, like they planned years ago. Well, we put the railroad tracks on the widening of I-75. This is going to bring you an antioxidant to the tap. Tap water treatment's based on cancer rates. So if you guys call Rick Scott, DeSantis, and Joe Biden, you don't have to get an answer. Just place a phone call within 5 days. I'm offering free water bills for Naples, entire city, because we're going to take down the revenue bonds from Tampa to Miami. I've had a 300-mile pipeline permitting for 10 years, but unfortunately, I keep getting subdued by the DOJ. That's the next 3 minutes.
Time terrorism, the
I'm just
Boston
asking you to
bomb,
call,
Parkland shooting, the
reference
clowns,
the
man.
resource. You can come out to the ranch. I have the deeds. I have the mineral rights. I could charge what I want, but we're going to make the water free. This is a medicine changer. I found another one in New York, actually New Jersey, at Washington Rock. I met with Eric Adams, Mayor Eric Adams. It's on
Arrest
video.
him and Chris Christie and the governor of New
They spent
York
$100 million
and
a
all
day
the
for the
commissioners.
aqueducts, the Catskill Mountains.
This is
Like 200
Instagram.
years
Can you
old,
pause
they're
it?
leaking. I'm only
Oh, yeah.
25 miles.
Pause it real quick. So,
Catskill Mountains, bro. That's like 45 minutes an hour from us.
yeah, dude, he's found him. The guy who put the camera down the well and was like, told them basically your life's going to get real difficult
Oh shit.
after finding that. He's found other wells like this up in upstate New York, I believe Canada, a few other places. So this guy, God, I always forget his name. I call him the camera guy, who put the camera down the well. He knows this exists. There's a lot of experts out there who knows this exists, but they're not allowed to talk about it.
Right.
Here's why I asked you to pause it.
Mm-hmm.
For all my conspiracy nuts out there, Joe is not a conspiracy person like we are. He does not look at flat Earth. He doesn't know about flat Earth. All right, that's why he's talking about meteor impacts and stuff like that. He thinks a meteor fell, hit the ground, and kind of allowed this water to seep closer to the surface. Even, there's conspiracy nuts out there who even think lava's fake. Okay, I don't know I haven't gone down that rabbit hole yet, but it's out there. I've had people tell me about it. So that's we don't know exactly where the realm we live in, what it's like. So whether he's correct on that or not, I think that's a sidebar. That should be disregarded. But God, what was the other thing he was just talking about? I was going to say, I wanted to get
mineral
that
rights
part
and stuff.
for my deep conspiracy heads. Yes, he's talking about meteors and lava. Joe doesn't know about flat Earth. Like the deep dives I've done on that. I'm still on the fence. I think I know what I believe in, but I'm still kind of on the fence, But yeah, that's just something else that kind of ties into this story too. Go ahead and hit play because I totally blanked on what the second point was.
You're good.
Oh, I'm sorry. No, hit pause. There it is. It came. He said this water is a medicine changer. Okay. Can you imagine if people who have been on drugs start drinking this water, what it's going to do to them? They're going to get off the fucking drugs, for one. For two, imagine you already have a healthy diet. What adding this water to your diet is going to do, your body is going to uptake this water, making your body uptake more minerals from your food because of the hydrogen and the antioxidant content. It's going to clean you out, get rid of the toxins, and allow your body to get way more nutrients. This water could literally put us back to the 1950s, the physiques men used to have back then.
Yep.
They don't want that. They want us
Nope.
all.
They want us
I'm a
fat.
pothead.
They want us on cholesterol medication.
Yeah, they want us all high on pot, taking pills, and eating junk food.
Yep.
There's plenty, and I'm not putting down potheads. I'm a smoker, but a lot of you people out there who smoke weed, look at me in the eyes. You're taking this shit too far. You're taking the lifestyle too far. Marijuana is a medicine that's more meant to be ingested rather than inhaled.
Roger. I'm just kidding.
But I'm
I'm on my second joint in here.
I noticed. Yeah, I'm a little bit of a hypocrite saying that, but I realize the truth. I realize it is what it is. God put that plant on the planet to be a healing medicine, and maybe open the mind a little bit. But it's all GMO. It's all way too saturated in THC. The shit is being bred to subdue an entire population. I was just talking to my friend who informed me and you were telling me a little bit about this too, all the rule changes that's going on. Well, I think a lot of that's actually being pushed by big alcohol, because alcohol sales are down like crazy.
Yep.
Which I think is a great thing. I'd rather have everyone high as shit than drunk as hell. Okay. But being high as hell all the time kind of, it subdues me. It stops me from really reaching my goals sometimes. I get lazy on this shit, but I also smoke a lot for the pain I'm in, because again, when I tell you I've gone down rabbit holes of all sorts, I've touched every conspiracy possible just within my own life, from psychological, health and wellness, corruption, my own family's been hit. Like, all my siblings are autistic, and I can tell you straight up, I think it's from all the medication my mother was on. They put my mom on Prozac the moment I came out of her womb. My mom had me at 18. All my siblings came out autistic. So my own life has been touched by this stuff quite a bit.
Right.
You know, I had surgery on my leg that I should have never had. Basically could have healed myself through other ways, other means, but at age 18 and a senior in high school, I went to a doctor pleading for help because I was in pain every day. All he did was throw me on a cold metal table, cut me open, and now I'm in even worse shape. I got nerve damage. I lost muscle mass in my leg. My whole body's off kilter. I literally have to do yoga every day and stretch more than the average person just to keep, I got back issues now working in a steel shop. That's my sob story, but I should have never had that surgery. The only thing that happened from that was the doctor got paid hella money to just tear me up at a very young age. So
to practice.
That's what this is all about too with Joe here. It's all about the money in the big pharma. They want, and that's the other thing I wanted to say earlier too, is if it is the fountain of youth, and this does add years to people's lives, that's the one thing the elite can't buy is time. So like, well, they're trying. That's where they offer Joe.
Oh, they're definitely trying.
Right, where they offer Joe and his homie $500 million, like that shit. Like, they'll put that money up.
You just saw Joe in this video saying he has the mineral rights to this water.
Yep. That's fucking crazy.
Let me tell you, little sidebar. I don't even know if I mentioned this yet, because like I apologize to the listeners. This asshole's all over the place, but
no, you're not.
This is conspiracy chaos, man. That's what
baby. I'm bringing the chaos today. I hope you guys can keep up.
Love it.
I was watching or listening. I work in a steel shop, so I have earbuds in all day. All I do is listen to podcasts. I was listening to Cult of Conspiracy one day, and they played a little clip. They were doing a show on the Malibu anomaly. And if you guys aren't hip to that, there's this anomaly right off the coast, about a mile off the coast of Malibu, that everyone thinks is an underground water base or a submerged UFO, or because it's got these pillars holding it up. Well, during this, they played this like AI fed video, where in the videos, like, some people even believe that this anomaly has tunnels leading to underground primary water rivers that travel the length of the continent. My mouth fucking dropped when I heard that word primary water. So I'm like, hold on now. If that's true, if we have black op naval submarines using these underground rivers and oceans to travel, and this guy owns the rights to that water, this water's never getting out. Right. They don't want their enemies to know, which I'm pretty sure every head of state, if you're important, you probably know this shit exists. I'm pretty sure they got it tapped and they're feeding the elite this shit. They know it. It's there. That's why they don't.
That's why that lawyer was nervous as shit.
Right. And again, God intervening and giving Joe that foresight to know that there's something wrong with the amount of sweat that guy had coming out of him for just a meeting for what was it?
Yeah, they probably sent him a picture of his family.
Yeah, who knows, man? And when she told me that, the only time there's 2 times in my life where I've seen people who had bad sweating problems. It was an older black gentleman that I worked with. This man came into work sweating, like with a rag doing this, sweating at 6 a.m. in the morning in the middle of winter. He had some condition that he was sweating to make him sweat like that. Fast forward to 2014, I went to a paranormal conference in my hometown of Kent, Ohio, where George Norrie of Coast to Coast AM came to be a guest speaker. And George had his, I think it was his producer of the show, who he always mentions during the show, with him. That was the sweatiest man I ever seen in my life. He looked nervous and he was sweating. Well, I took a picture with George, and this is on my Instagram if any of you guys want to see. George, I know he must have just blinked, but it almost looks like his eyeballs are over top of his eyelids in this picture.
Reptilian shit.
I had like another fan take a picture of me and George together, and I didn't check it until like hours later. And I was like, what the fuck is that? I just stared at my phone like, why does his eyes look like that? I've taken a billion pictures of thousands of friends and family and, strangers in the background. No one's eyes have ever looked like that before. And I got the one time I meet somebody that famous, that happens. And then I start thinking, why was his partner, whoever that was with him, sweating so bad, dude? I don't know, man. I've had some weird experiences getting into this conspiracy stuff, man, dealing with podcasting, but I wouldn't change it for the world. I fucking love this shit.
Yep.
Awesome.
Super fun.
I love it. It's only brought up even more mysteries, less answers and just more questions, but I think speaking for all of us, it definitely gives us something to do,
Yeah.
Oh, definitely. Learning, man. Learning.
Not that I need more stuff to do, but I just love it.
Yeah, getting the message out there like this, Joe story, man. I never knew nothing about this until I spoke to you a couple weeks ago about it. And
yeah,
here we are today.
I told you guys earlier, God had to take away this one thing I loved more than anything in that moment to get me back on this story.
Yeah.
I honestly think that was God kicking me in the ass, saying, you asked for a purpose and you sat back on it. So now you get to lose this for a little while. Now you get to hit rock bottom.
Regain focus.
Now you get to focus and realize what the fuck you should have been doing from the get-go. But at the same time, I think it all kind of happened like that for a reason. Because even if I had tried to get Christine on any shows the day I met her, I didn't know enough podcasters. It wasn't until that time when my daughter left my life that I started getting contact by other people who had their own shows. I didn't even have to reach out. So it was like it all just culminated right at the perfect moment.
I actually seen one of the comments on this video that we're watching. It says, "Come on my podcast," and I think you replied, "I got you, man. I'll message you."
That was the very first show we did. Yeah, it was the White Rabbit podcast. My man Catalyst Jones, who is in our podcasting group. Yeah.
Yep.
Cool.
And
okay.
my boy Chef and Hank, who let me come on their shows, because I don't know if you guys have come across. I don't even know if Ryan Dean and Ghost are doing Cunt anymore. They had a little show called Cunt that I kind of involved myself with it, where they said fans send us some of your videos. They even had me on their show a couple times, and other fans of the show saw my video and reached out like, "Hey, I'm trying to start a podcast. You want to come on?" So it just happened naturally, man. It was beautiful. I've made a lot of beautiful connections with amazing people just talking about conspiracies.
Oh, yeah.
I've made
Same
better.
with us, man. We're about a year in.
To my own family with this information.
Yeah, 2 weeks from now, I think we'll be about a year. February was right after the Super Bowl. Like February 8th, I think, was our first episode we dropped. So we're almost a year in.
Nice. Go ahead and finish Joe's video. I'll shut the fuck up for a minute.
All right, finish it off here. Where am I here? I got 1 million pages open. Oh man. Here I am.
It should be on the screen still. I still see
it. No, I got it.
The Washington Mountains, a buried volcano. So I have 2 data points here: a meteor impact, a buried volcano showing primary water. It's never seen the sun, so the dissolved solids aren't in the water. It's a negative voltage. When you take a shower, you soak in a liter of water. Tap water treatments based on cancer rates. They're filling kids in hospital cancer centers.
Medicaid fraud, Rick Scott.
The pathogens.
He
on the
seems like
chlorine
such a nice
carriers.
guy, man. You're
So
right.
the
So
level
well
of service
spoken.
is
Need chlorine.
tremendous increase in level of service. And part of my permit is a dry line permit because it's right next to Peace River Pump Station where they're pulling off a polluted river. Is Lake O has a GMO in it by General Electric for a blue.
I want to stop it for a minute. We need to arrest all of South Florida Water Management, SWIFTMOD, FDEP, and the EPA and the Army Corps of Engineers in Florida and New York and New Jersey immediately.
Algae for ethanol. The Army Corps put it out there. It filled up half the lake. It's all your red tide coming out here. And we can burn it off in 3 months. We presented to Florida Congress in 2019.
Jim Murray presented to Florida Congress. He said the GMO had mutated in the air and has clogged all the other wells. We can burn it off. They said, stop talking. It's too political, because Biden and Trump are just smacking five, man. They're all attacking us. They're Zionists. They need to get the hell out of America.
They kidnap me again. You burn it off like oil. You deflagrate the cells. So I can clean up all your red tide and get you spring water to the tap with lower water bills.
Nobody's called
I'm
yet.
asking you to make a phone
It's been
call.
2 days. Now,
Is this
no
giving 10
engineer,
seconds
no
left on that 3
consultant,
minutes? Is that what
none
that
of
is?
them. 2 more days, I'm
That
filing
was,
request to prosecute.
3 minutes.
Correct.
Okay, that was good enough because you got the
They ain't
letter.
got nothing to do. Why don't you make the phone call?
Nobody's moving it.
Byron Donalds is
You know,
down
it's
there.
been down there 65 million years. It ain't leaving.
They don't care
So,
about kids, man.
It's a pump report and a 5-minute water test. We haven't seen magnesium and calcium. The readings are there in the letter.
The whole agenda was talking about yachts, jewelry awards for jewelry stores. Go down to Fifth Ave. Look at all these old people, man. They don't care about our children, man. In this Collier County complex, I ran into environmental graduates, and they're like, you're not supposed to know about that water. They didn't know I was the one that found it. It's a big gang down there in Collier and Lee County, all the way up this West Coast, and bled into South Florida now.
It's at 78 milligrams per liter and the calcium's at 118. Look at Fiji. It's only 18 and 15. It's an antioxidant.
So
Better
you're
than
pretty
any bottled
creative.
water.
You're pretty creative. You put in 2 slips for item 5. Never had that before, but
Because I only had 3 minutes, and I'm going to come back and see you got.
One slip was Pentagon FBI case. I slapped down the FBI case with 50 judges in there showing fraudulent transfer with Sarasota and Ed Browski, Tom Wyden, Chris Hallett, and the entire commission and the entire staff. And they all know. Cape Coral knows. They know. You want to talk about creative? What about the project? Forget about filling out the card. She's a nice lady, but we're going to find out.
I'm going to do Collier. I'm going to hit all the cities in Broward. I want to see the leadership. Just make a phone call.
thank you.
We got everything else. Okay, this
Cutting
is
you off.
the
They should be asking me questions.
the-
They asked everybody else questions. They didn't ask me no questions. They're subject right now.
the cards I have here that I want to leave a stack for everyone in the public. This card is my website.
It says Gilberti Pentagon.
I'm docketed at the U.S. Supreme Court.
Arrest
this case
all the
here
US
on
Supreme
release
Court
is Gilberti
justices.
versus FBI. It's
Throw 'em in
filed
jail
Fort
for
Myers
life.
because of my civil rights. There's another one in Sarasota. It includes over 50 judges that have been subduing me. If the judges are bad, you got no
My
chance.
dad showed up dead with
You
the
know,
discs.
they
No one
did a
gives a
fraudulent
shit, man.
transfer on our land.
Too
switched out the
advanced
legal
for their
description of
sorry
2,000
asses.
acres and spend tax dollars after.
Preach.
It's all public record. This is all tied to the Bush family.
You're going
Where
down,
was he
George
during
Bush.
9/11?
I'm filing the
And that's
shit
what
on
we
you,
talked
man.
about in New
You
York
and Mitt
when
Romney and
Building 7 went
dumbasses.
down. They were trying to crush those aqueducts. If they would have crushed them, you wouldn't have got 8 million people out of New York. You'd
They
lost
tried to
all
kill the
power
whole
and
country
water.
that day.
So I want
No one talked about the aqueducts.
BlackRock Investments in it. I named them.
Arrest that company.
There you
They
go,
manage
BlackRock.
these assets and they're behind hiding this stuff. They're in Southern California. They're all over the country. And,
Who
and
backs
one of the big
Mosaic?
issues about this I have is this war in Israel with Gaza.
Very important right here.
They're fighting over the Jordan River. How's that river getting that water? It's coming up from underneath. On the other side of the border, there could be a buried one. It's 10 times more valuable. You see, knowledge is power. And this military complex hid this 50 years. And a lot of people died of cancer.
With a lot of people
A
in
lot of
Florida
kids
hit it
never
too.
had a chance. So
All the
you make a phone
developers,
call to
Lennar,
DeSantis,
Pat Neal,
you're more than welcome. Ask me to come
Culverhouse.
order water tests. Changes medicine ain't just about the pipeline.
Neil Benderson,
It's about medicine.
DeBartolo,
Okay. So, and they're everywhere. and
Toll
there's different
Brothers,
ones.
Benita
So
Holmes.
this is knowledge. that
Give us
all
our
these
money
kids
back for
with
our
their
homes.
3D and their minds and the computers, they need to go out and help. Give these kids a chance. So that's pretty much what I got. I can give you guys permit documents. You can
Nobody's
call me,
called.
ask your engineers, continuing service, Stantec. I sued all those guys. They're all running.
They're
'cause I
still
used to work
paying
with
these
them in
engineers
Dayton,
too.
Florida.
Poison our
Everybody
water
wants
supply.
to go home and take it
Using
easy.
bad
I get it,
resources.
but we got to do something about this. Okay?
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you for being here.
Want me to stop it there?
Yeah, good. No questioning, no nothing, man. This
nothing.
is
Nothing. They didn't give a shit.
Typical
And
blackballing.
there's multiple videos of him going to different places. He recorded as much as he could, man. They basically dead silent the entire time. And the moment his time was up, they chased him out of there.
It's like thought of him as a joke and just
yeah, who's this
And
crazy
Joe
fucking guy?
called out to a few different sects there. You know, he said it's a Zionist, and you know, I think this is a message for the conspiracy community, podcasters and listeners alike. Stop fighting over who's ruling us, because it's fucking all of them.
They're all on the same team against us.
It's not just the Mormons, and not just the Catholics. It's not just the Jesuits. It's not just, you know, we got the gematria guy, Hubbard, Zach Hubbard. He thinks it's the Jesuits. You know, you got JJ Vance. He's like, it's the Society of Cincinnati. Guess what? They're all, and JJ does a great job connecting everybody, man. Oh my God, I love JJ Vance's stuff. Check that man's stuff out. Operation GCD, if you can. It's everyone, dude, and it's not just white people ruling the world. It's every race. Every single race on this planet has their people at the top, and those people at the top are all either related or connected.
Yep.
So
might be different branches, but it comes from the same tree.
And I think this branches to confuse us.
Yeah.
So we're all chasing
absolutely
ghosts, basically. And we're all trying to follow different rivers to the same source.
To the same well. Yeah.
And all those rivers all connect. They all got tributaries that are, you know, as to use a really bad analogy, they're all connected, dude. All of them. They're all connected. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if it's been 500 years or 5. These occultists, they know what they're doing. They know how to confuse us. They know how to keep 10 steps ahead of us. They've been planning. Everything that is happening today, right now, in the news cycle, was planned 50 years ago.
Yep, absolutely. Right? And it's been the same playbook over and over. They're just
over and over again. And it's been the same people. If you know their name, they're connected, bro. It doesn't matter if they're famous celebrities or politicians. If you know their name, they're connected to one of these groups. Especially, I will say that the Society of Cincinnati stuff has really been getting a lot bigger in my everyday study. They keep popping up. I do think that's one of the main, if you're going to say,
new one.
That's one of the main ones, the Society of Cincinnati. Check that stuff out if you don't know what it is. It's a rabbit hole.
Is it Freemason related? I don't know much about it.
It's all of it, man. It's everything.
Okay.
This is
Society of Cincinnati.
JJ Vance ever hears this, he's going to get mad at me. I believe it was started by people like George Washington back in the Revolutionary War. Maybe even further back than that. They've been around for a very long time. And this is even why the city of Cincinnati is named Cincinnati. This has everything to do with basically on this level, these people know the truth of geomancy and the mounds and the energy and power they hold. Yeah, I can't wait to get into the mound stuff with you guys, man. That's really interesting stuff. But
yeah, that's
this water
pretty
stories.
Cool. It's all interesting as shit, man. We appreciate you jumping on and you know, telling this story, and I'm hoping our listeners definitely can do what they can to support Joe and try to, you know, I mean, 15 years, bro, it's fucking wild.
And you know, because of all this too,
got a free Aquaman, bro.
Yeah, free Aquaman. Hashtag free Aquaman.
Christine has reached out to a lot of different groups trying to find that man help. And one of the, he hasn't been able to do anything, but one of the most interesting people she has met, in my opinion, that I've also gotten the opportunity to talk to multiple times, is a ex-lawyer. He was a lawyer for over 30 years in Alabama. His name's Billy, and he's a genius. This man, you know, Joe during that video is like, arrest them all, put them all behind bars. Billy goes a different route. There is hope. There's a lot of smart, well-meaning people out there who have been in the mix of things. I should say, like Billy being a lawyer for 30 years and knows how things work, who are trying to change the rules of the game. And by that, I mean literally change the rules of law from being the commerce law that it is today to bringing back God's law. All right. And one of the conversations I had with Billy that he really drove home was we can't arrest these people and treat them the way they treat us. We have to take away everything they own. You can't jail a man. That's against God's law. But if a man isn't going to do his responsibilities and try to screw over the rest of humanity, they need to have everything ripped away from them. They need to walk this earth in squalor until they're ready to get their shit together. So he's lit, him and a huge group of people. I'll send you some of the stuff he sent me if you guys are interested. Have been rewriting the laws and trying to get it into Congress and wherever they can to bring back God's law. Men shouldn't be thrown in jail. It's against God's law in his eyes, and well, in the text and everything. But that stuff, I will say, I'm just a dumb layman who likes conspiracies. You know, I'm a nobody from nowhere doing nothing right now. This story I find extremely compelling and important. For some reason, God put it in my lap to spread this message, but you know, I do what I can to learn. Billy's stuff is beyond me. It's literally one stupid fuck. Brandon Joe Williams level type information that Billy's dealing with, like literally getting down to the nitty gritty of how the law is written and putting it back to where it was supposed to be. So that's another movement within this water story that I've come across that I'm absolutely passionate about. So we can come on and talk about that one night too. I got loads of stuff.
Got a lot, man.
You got a lot. I definitely want to dive into that Kent State one though. I actually remember listening when you mentioned being on Mystic Mark from My Family Thinks I'm Crazy. I kind of remember listening to that episode.
I did a show with my man Trebles Garcia. Had me on his show to cover it a little bit, and then Occult Rejects had me on. He blew my mind because he had 10 other podcasters / researchers on there with me, listening to me present this stuff, and they were pulling up more information left and right for me, giving me more for the story. But I'm actually been pretty active with that. I've reached out to. I'm trying to find maps of Kent, Ohio before it was really developed. The Connecticut Land Company sold the land to a farmer, and then that land was basically taken over by Marvin Kent, who was sent to Kent, Ohio, before it was called Franklin Mills at the time. Carnegie basically sent this oligarch guy to Kent, Ohio to establish the railroad systems here, because right when Kent got here, before the railroads were established, we had a canal system in our river. It flooded and was damaged and never be able to be used again. Here's your railroads.
Guys, why does everything come back to railroads?
It all
does it always come back to fucking railroads?
Like, I've lived in this city my whole life. Nobody's gonna believe the information I'm bringing them. They're gonna think I'm picking at straws, but I'm telling you guys,
put your peas up.
There's conspiracies in every corner you turn, dude. Even your own, the creation of your own town, I guarantee, was steeped in conspiracy and corruption.
Oh hell yeah. We got underground tunnels all over our city. There was a lot of underground slavery stuff going on. We had a lot. There's a lot of hidden history. We have a lot of Tartaria in upstate New York, with Albany being right there. There's so much
tons
shit.
of mountains in New York, man, and all the star forts that used to be there too is something to look into. But now I'm trying to find the maps that were drawn up of Kent, Ohio before Kent State was ever built. I have very high suspicion that the entire campus and most of the town of Kent, Ohio was a mound culture settlement. I think the entire campus was a mound.
I was just watching something about the Adirondacks. It's Ant, did you ever know this, that the Adirondacks are it's not like a naturally shaped mountain kind of thing. It's a circle mountain. It's not like many others. There's only one other one. It's on the opposite coast in Sierra Canyon area or something that replicates it. It's literally like mirrors. If you fold the country, it would be exactly the same. I was just watching this video. I'll have to find it and send it to you.
Really? Yeah, the Adirondacks, man. They're amazing.
That sounds interesting.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I'll send it to you guys when I find it.
Heading up north, baby. Heading up north on Friday.
Yeah. You're going up there. Good luck, buddy.
Yeah, man.
Missing 411 Anthony gonna be on the next episode.
Bigfoot. I'll find Bigfoot for you.
There you go.
I would love
Well,
to see
Matt,
Anthony
man.
being chased by Bigfoot, dude. Can you imagine?
I'll be running with a
on a
copy
hunting
of
cam or something.
I'll be running with the selfie mode on my camera. Guys, I got him. He's right behind me.
Yeah, everybody will think
And
it's
all of a sudden
AI
you get him
too.
ripped into
Yeah.
like 10 pieces.
Oh god.
The camera's
Sorry.
quality shit because you're running and
Looking like the Blair Witch Project and shit.
now you know why none of those videos have ever surfaced because every time you try to get one, it comes out shit.
Yeah, that's it. But
Yeah,
Matt,
thank-
awesome episode, dude. We
thank-
appreciate your time. Why don't you let the listeners know where they can find you and get some of this information that you're
Yeah,
dropping?
absolutely. If anybody, I will take any story of water at this point. I consider myself a dot connector, man. I'll hear information today, and then 2 months from now, I'm gonna hear something that connects to that information. So, Awakened Lion on Instagram, Awakened Lion 29 on X. I barely use that, but if I see I got a message on there, I answer anybody's DMs or comments, whatever I can. I am working on my own show. A lot of the guys have been up my ass to get that going. Being that I have my daughter full time right now, it's really been hard. But once her mom gets her back a little bit, I'll have way more time, and that's going to be called the Hometown Prophet. It'll be on YouTube, Spotify, anywhere you can find a podcast. But for now, just come holler at me on Instagram or Facebook if you find me on there. I really don't care. Just bring me good knowledge that I can share.
Yeah, man.
Oh yeah.
You're
Well,
awesome.
let us know when you're ready to drop that. We'll get you back on and make sure you promote that, and we'll definitely set up a time to get into the Kent State story.
Yeah, dude.
But
Appreciate you, gentlemen. Thanks so much for having me on and listening to this and taking us seriously. We need all the help we can get, so this means a lot.
And shout out to Christine. Really, truly appreciate her taking the time jumping on too. That was a cool surprise there to get her on to talk about her husband's situation.
Absolutely. And yeah, go check out the page on Instagram, the Joe Gilberti Gilberti 24 and
2024. Yep.
And his website, GilbertiBlueGold.com. We want a lot of traffic to that website. He's got a lot of good information on there.
No doubt. Thanks again, Matt. We appreciate you. We'll take a quick break here, and then me and the boys will jump on and recap the episode. Matt, appreciate you, buddy. Boom. Another one, boys. Conspiracy Chaos continues to cook, man. That was a fucking banger. That's a crazy story. Shout out to his.
Story. I'm going down there.
Yeah, you got to, dude. You got fucking.
No, we got to. We got to. When you guys are down here, we'll take a day off from golf.
All right.
We'll take the 2.5-hour trip.
I'm cool with that, dude. I'm totally cool with that.
We could see some Tartaria shit too while we're down there. We'll go see the Scientology area and shit on the way down. On the way back up, we'll pass it. So.
Okay. We'll make a day of it. I'm down for that. I'm definitely down for that. Fuck it.
Oh yeah.
Go get some fucking.
Give me some of that water, boy.
Found it. Youth shit, boy. We coming back with suitcases full of it, ain't? TSA be like, what the fuck are you guys doing? Listen, bro.
I swear,
I'm getting just water.
Just that fire, bro.
Dude, I'm gonna get an old water bed. I'm gonna fill that motherfucker up.
just fucking with a straw attached.
I mean, Mike, it's close enough to you where you could take a couple, get those big gallon jugs and those 3 gallon jugs. 3 gallon jugs. That's what I meant. Get like those and go once a month.
But isn't it like listening to their story? Isn't it crazy? Like it's the same playbook, dude. It's the same playbook by the elites. Like Mosaic's after them. Who are they backed by? It's clear. You see the people who are bought and paid for. You see the people who just pretty much buried this man.
Do you think they're trying to hide it, or do you think they're trying to eventually use it themselves?
Oh yeah, for sure. They're going to use it for themselves. Why wouldn't they? If they could, I mean, for the longest time, that everybody's been looking for the Fountain of Youth. You know what I mean? And if they have it, they use it for themselves, and they don't let anybody else use it. I mean, just like, this 8 scientists who died in a plane crash because they were going to help. They knew the answer to cancer.
Right.
Stuff like that. Anything like ivermectin, fenbenzol, stuff that farmer doesn't want us to have. So you can't get it unless you get it from another country, or you get some knockoff, or you go to like Tractor Supply. Like, I mean, they find it very hard. You know what I mean? They make it very hard for you to get it, but I mean, you can get it. They just don't want you to have it. You know, can you imagine if he said that he can supply the entire state of Florida with free water, it hurts everybody.
Yep.
A lot of money.
Free, healthy drinking water, man. Fucking crazy world we live in, man. Crazy time.
Pam Bondi's like, oh, go talk to Scott. Talk to Rick Scott. Well, no, that's who I'm against. Like, why do I want to go talk to him? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, that was crazy. Oh, I felt so bad for her. I feel.
Yeah, you can tell she's been through it.
Oh man,
been through it.
You can tell she's been through it, man.
But that water's, man, keeping her going for sure.
Craziness, dude. It's a crazy. I did so much Googling and Chat GPT during this episode to see who these people were and their stories. And literally, dude, there wasn't like one news article about this.
About him. Yeah.
Yeah, they hide it, bury it.
Mm-hmm.
Bury him. Scrub. And, you know, if you have just 3 people that are the family that are fighting this, and we all know news is bought and paid for. You know, we know politicians are bought and paid for. So in reality, they don't have you know, it sucks. It's a reality. But if it's just them fighting against the elites, then they have 0 chance.
Yeah.
They need everybody.
Pretty much.
You know, and I'm down.
Well,
I'm down.
Gotta keep fighting, though. Gotta keep fighting, no matter what.
Gotta keep fighting. Keep your head up.
All right, boys.
All right, well, good episode, boys. Appreciate everybody tuning in. Make sure you guys go check out Conspiracy Chaos on Instagram, YouTube, all social medias. Like, subscribe, follow. Go check out what is it? Joe Gilbert 2024.
Joe Gilberti.
Gilberti, excuse me. Joe Gilberti 2024. I knew I wasn't saying it right. 2024 on Instagram. Click the link to his site. Go check that out. Go support. Get the message out. And yeah, that's
Save Aquaman.
Save a hashtag. Save Aquaman. Oh, right. I like that, Mike. I like that campaign. Once again, appreciate everybody tuning in, and we will catch you next week with another episode. We're going to be dropping them every Tuesday and Thursday here for a little bit to see how that goes. Been getting a good response so far, so stay tuned. Keep the numbers coming in, and we appreciate everybody's support here at Conspiracy Chaos. See you on Thursday.
Quick shout out to my boys. Yeah, quick shout out to the boys at my restaurant in the kitchen, the chefs. They were tuned in on our live the other day, and
nice.
We got to talk about it for a little bit last night, so it's pretty cool. And you know, we got some things working on back behind the scenes, us 3. And I know people are pretty excited, and I can't wait to get that kicking off, dude. We got some good things coming up, man.
Yep, you're gonna get a couple more chaos corners popping up on some lives, some doom scrolling episodes. We're gonna be mixing it up a little bit. Also, merch will be out. We're gonna have a merch site and an official sponsor coming up pretty soon. Yep, that's right. Fuck it, we'll drop it. So
it's gonna be sick.
Big shit's coming. Big shit's coming. So
all right, boys.
Chaos crew is building. Ant's ready for bed. We'll see you guys next week. Peace.
Good night.
Peace.
This is Conspiracy Chaos. Truth, fiction, or both? Let's dive in.